Values and data type, part 4 for ICSE class 9. Non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data type are the data types which are made up of combinations of sequence of multiple variables of primitive data type. So you already know from the previous classes that primitive data type are those data type which are built inside the Java. So the primitive data types are integer, long, double, float, char. These are all non primitive data type. So using the primitive data type, we make the non-primitive data types. So the non-primitive data types are array, string, and other complex data types. So the array and the other complex data type falls under the non-primitive data type. So arrays are combinations of homogeneous variables which have their singular data type. So we will not learn in this class. We will learn in class 10. String is a non-primitive data type because you can say that string is a combination of characters. So to form a combination of characters, it is quite difficult to make sure that they stay in the same line. So the strings are defined inside a Java default package, which is the default package which is inherited by all classes. So string is an object of a class string. So using inside the class string, there are particular sequence of characters that how a string should be defined. In Java, strings are declared using two ways: by creating data type, variable syntax, and the second one is by creating string object constructor syntax. The string syntax, which is the normal one, is quite easy. But you need to first define the object of string, then the string str which we declare as variable, and using the assignment operator we can directly assign some string using the between two double quotes. And another way of declaring a string is to show that a string constructor. So string str equals a new string. So new is a command which allows you to assign a object of a string with the help of the string constructor. The new command initializes the object of the class string. Example and usage of data types. So you can say that we have all studied about data types, so we need to finally learn that how to use the data types. So the programs you are seeing on the screen are the basic programs of declaring a data type. So the system which you are seeing is a main boilerplate. Boilerplates means that the same kind of public static void main is the boilerplate which you need to use in every program so that it runs very well. So the class program one, inside a bracket we write public static void main. Right now you don't have to learn that what each of the keyword means. We will be learning in the process of Java. So inside the public static void main is, you just remember that main is the function. If you don't write the public static void main, the program won't execute. Int a equals to 14. So we are storing the 14, which is the 14 is a value, which is a valid data type of integer, is getting stored inside a variable a of integer type. Then again you can see that float f equals to 2.13 f. So 2.13 f indicates that 2.13 is a floating type, and f indicates that the compiler will understand that 2.13 is directly or has been predefined as floating type. So float f equals to 2.13 f. Why we do giving f through the literal of literal 2.13? Because by default any decimal point or any real numbers are by default declared as double. So to make sure that the Java compiler understands it as float, we need to give f at the last point to make sure that the value is floating type. Double d equals 2.181818 is a floating type. It's a double. It is not necessary to write small d at the end of the value, but it is quite good to show that the Java compiler understands and no error is thrown out. Then system.out.println is the line which you need to use to show the content of the variable. So system.out.println a will give out on the screen as 14. System.out.println f will show out as a value of 2.13 without the f. And system.out.println d will give out the value of 2.18 as it's shown, but it will not show the value of d because it will discard it, since the Java compiler perfectly understands how to differentiate between the numbers and variables. The next program you are seeing that program to display string values. So we have declared a string where we have written class 9 students of 2020, and we are printing out system.out.println str. So what you will be seeing that if you run this program in BlueJ, then you will be seeing the answer as class 9 students of 2020. Literals and constants. So we have already studied about literals, which are the values which remains constant throughout the whole period of program execution. Integer constants are whole number without fractional part. Example 1, 4, and between all the values between minus 2,147,483,648 to 2,147,483,647. Between any number, between this range, any number between them is valid. Then is character constant. Character constant is enclosed in single quotes. Non-graphic characters can be represented using the escape sequence, which can be represented by using the backslash. So the we have already studied about the escape sequence as /n /t. So /n represents which what the new line. Example is a capital A between single quotes, a symbol of question mark between single quotes, and a digit of 2 represented by single quotes. So each of them are represented by single quotes, which represent them as character constants. Then is float point constants. Floating point constants are values which are decimal points and which have power values. So example is that 23.5. 23.5 is a valid floating point constant. So floating point constants may be float and double. 4.5 e to the power of 10. So 4.5 e means that 4.5 E10 means that 4.5 multiplied by 10 to the power of 10, and 8.85 E minus 18 means 8.85 multiply into 10 to the power of minus 18. So E is the scientific notation which shows that the power rate. So these are all floating point values. String constants are a sequence of characters closed in double quotes. Example, hello world. String constants are we have already studied just before this slide. What are the string constants? How to show them? Boolean constants can be taken only two values, true and false. They can be assigned to a value of variable of data type Boolean. So Boolean, just to remember that the true and false, the way it is written in the slide, it is just written in the. We have to just write this in this way in the programs, because true and false are the keywords. Type conversion. Type conversion is a process of converting one primitive data type to another. So we have already studied that what are the different kinds of data type available. So for that purpose, we need some conversions. We need between primitive data types. We need to convert them. So we have already understood that how much is the bit width of each data type. So doing so, if you convert from a lower bit size to high, so if you take a lower bit width size of a data type and convert them into a higher bit size, we call it as implicit conversion. So implicit conversion is also known as widening. Widening means to increase the data width, or you can say automatic conversion. These conversions are generally not required by any programmer intervention and coercion. Then comes the explicit conversion or narrowing or typecasting. So narrowing, explicit conversion is to reduce. Narrowing means what? Narrowing means to narrow the data width. So if you take a double and convert into float, you can say that it is narrowing. Or you can say taking a float variable and converting into integer type, you can also say that it is a narrowing. Now, implicit conversion can be done under two conditions. The implicit variables must be compatible, must be of same data type, or you can say same group of data type, and the destination type should be larger than the source type. And the explicit conversion can be done under two conditions. The two types are incompatible, means that they don't fall under the same group of data type, and the destination should be less than the source type. So let us take an example of implicit conversion. You are seeing that int a equals to 5 and double d equals to a. So int a is a integer type, but d is a double type. So when you store the value of when you pass the variable a, which has already a value of 5, the value get automatically converted into the following double. In the example, you are seeing that int I equals to 2 and float f equals to 4.0f. And when you do that, d equals to I multiplied I times f, what we see, what we are seeing, that 2 multiplied by 4.0, which is completely two different data types, because but the thing is that they fall under the same group of integers. So you can say that since they have compatible things. So it can be converted into a higher group. So that is why 8.0 is the answer. Then example 3. So example 3 says that long a equals to 100L. So L stands for long. By default, integer is the most preferred data type in Java. So long is also an integer type data type, which has larger bit size than integer, which is of 64 bit. That is why to say that the number which has been stored as is not integer but a but a the but a long type, then we have to show that like float and double L is shown, then float f equals to 5.5. You can just say that. Then adding the two thing 100 plus f means that 100 plus 5.5 is f. So what? How then you might be thinking that float is a 32-bit size. Then how it is storing the 64-bit size? Since the float has a 32-bit wide range with a precision point, that is why we can store the 64 bits precision rate into a 32-bit. So that is why we are getting the output in the form of float 105.5. Now we will be seeing the example of explicit conversion. So let us take an example of first one, that is char a equals to between double quotes a. From the ASCII code, we have already learned that capital A stands for 65 and capital Z stands for 90. So to convert the following into the integer, we need to use the explicit conversion. To show the explicit conversion, we need to use the integer type between two brackets and the following variable. So this will convert the following character into a variable of integer. So the integer value will be getting, or the ASCII value will show up in the integer x, and we will be seeing the answer of 65. Example 2, we are seeing that long L equals to 500 and int a equals to int L. Since they are two incompatible. Why they are incompatible, you may ask. The incompatibility rises from the bit size, because long is 64 bit width and int has a bit width of 32. So when you are converting from 64 to 32, there will be some loss in precision. But since the value is very small here, the loss is very negligible. System.out.println a is what is getting as the value is same as the long. This is the end of part 4. The videos for other chapters will be released very soon.